Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another 100% Stardew Valley completion Let's Play. We have now entered the first week of fall, and we start by hoeing up the ground here. We are going to get ready to plant some pumpkins. Now, we're only going to get 100 or so pumpkins, and we're going to get 10 of each other crop that's available. But first, let's have a look at the Help Wanted quest. Robin is looking for the bream, the reward, a prized ticket. We'll take her up on that offer straight away. We're going to purchase lots of crops off Pierre, we have lots of money to do so. If you're new to this series, just check the link in the description and it will bring you right back to the video compilations that have been created so far. It'll bring you right up to this video. If you like Stardew Valley content, consider hitting the subscribe button and leaving a like on the video. It goes a long way for me. So once we planted all our crops, we're going to water them up. And for the rest of the day, we are just going to do some fishing. We need to complete all of the fishing collection. It would be nice to get it done in year one, so because we're in fall, there's some new fishes we can get. But first, we're going to get that bream so we can give it to Robin the next day. We pass out because it hit 2 o'clock. We will take a penalty the next day, but it's not the end of the world. We're now going to make a big chest because I'm really stuck for space with the small chest. There's quite a lot of items in there that I want to use later on in the video. We're then going to go to the desert for one specific purpose, and that is to pull up a lovely sandfish because today is Penny's birthday and Penny loves a good quality sandfish. We're also going to hand over this bream to Robin. She's really happy about that and we get a prize ticket as a reward. We're going to use our prize tickets to collect this lovely Star Drop tea. We are going to combine that Star Drop tea with the sandfish. We're going to get lots of friendship points with Penny. We're also going to take a look at the community quests. We'll go with Robin's project. She's looking for 80 hardwood and we will oblige, of course. With the Star Drop tea and sandfish ready to be gifted, it is time to accumulate some serious friendship points with Penny. The sandfish alone was a gold star. This is going to boost her up to 3 hearts out of 8. And we're now going to give her the Star Drop tea and that will net us another 3 hearts, boosting her up to 6. So we're very close now to going to Pierre's, getting that lovely bouquet. And Penny will be the NPC that we will be marrying in this lovely cozy adventure. We're also going to collect some free pumpkin seeds off of Gunther. We're going to pick up that lovely rare crow as well. We're now going to visit Clint and we are going to upgrade our watering can to a steel watering can. We're also going to get Clint to break open a couple of mystery boxes here as well, in the hopes to get some useful items. Those mixed seeds and those flower seeds will come in fierce handy for when we go over to Ginger Island. We do have the boat fully fixed. We're now going to try and attempt at the angler legendary fish today. We also put up a salmon there as well, which is nice. The angler is by far the easiest legendary fish to pull up, and we will be putting this angler into a fish pond. That will give us 3 fish ponds on the farm that all have legendary fish inside them. So that's going to be the crimson fish, the mutant carp, and now the angler will join our lovely cozy family of fish. It's going to be very happy in there for the rest of its life. Now the angler roe isn't great. It pales in comparison to the other roes, but it's still better than that of the lava eel roe, for example, so it's still worth getting some roe off that every couple of days. We're now going to visit the secret woods. We need to get lots of hardwood for Robin's quest, but we also have level 9 foraging. It would be very nice to max that out within the next couple of days if possible. So these tree stumps will regenerate every single day. It's a nice place to go to get hardwood, but also to get nice foraging XP. We're going to head on into Pelican down here. And there's a help wanted quest, 200 golds any fisherman who pulls up 5 sardines. Because we're heading down to the beach anyway to get some of the new fish that you can only get in fall, we might as well take the quest. So we got some sea cucumbers today, we got some red snappers, anchovies, sea jellies, but more importantly, we managed to get 5 sardines that Willie wanted. We're just going to talk to Willie. We get to keep the sardines so we can sell those for some profit, and that is another help wanted quest completed. Now, we still haven't gotten our hands on the fish smoker. It does cost 10,000 gold. We will get it eventually though. We also pulled up the walleye today because it is a rainy day, so it's definitely worth to get our hands on that. We're doing more fishing down here too by the river. We also got a catfish as well, which is really nice. We got a rusty cog inside of a treasure chest. We can give that to Gunter later on. For the rest of the evening, we're just going to do some fishing up by the lake area, and we managed to pull up tons of fish today. The book merchant will visit Stardew Valley very soon, so I'm just trying to accumulate some extra money here and there so I can get some good books of power. I also need money to get tool upgrades as well. The next day starts by getting some nice roe from the legendary fish ponds. The angler row starts off at 400 gold, but we can put that into a preserve bin and it will increase its value dramatically. We also get our steel watering can off Clint, which is going to come in fierce handy, especially for Ginger Island. Speaking of which, it is time to visit Ginger Island, collect all the golden walnuts and get all of the goodies this fabulous island has to offer. There's lots of great stuff we can get here, including very powerful rings, weapons, boots, and items we can use on our farm that's going to give us tons of cash. Today, let's focus on one primary goal, to collect enough golden walnuts so we can build up the house and sleep here. We also want to get the Ginger Island farm up and running as quickly as possible, and because the Ginger Island farm is basically like a giant greenhouse, we can fill it up with starfruit if we want to make the most money. But at the end of the day, we're going for 100% completion. We're not going for, millions of gold by the end of year 1. So we might use it for a more strategic purpose, instead of just filling it up with starfruit and trying to min-max it every couple of days and make thousands of cakes. But I haven't fully decided yet, so we'll see. At this moment of time, we're just going to run around Ginger Island and pick up all of the golden walnuts that we can get right now, which is more or less the great majority. Now, there are some golden walnuts that are locked behind us having to progress to year 2, for example the fetch quests that we get from the woman by the waters, but we can still get more or less well over 100 and get into Key's secret walnut room before we get to year 2. We're just going to have to complete a lot of the side quests. There's also the Georgia parrot, but we're going to try our best to avoid that to the best of our abilities and just find all of the golden walnuts the fun way, which is exploring the map using our hoe and all of our tools. Thankfully, because I've done this so many times, I know exactly where all the golden walnuts are. Now, the sooner we get into Key's secret walnut room, the sooner we can start doing advanced quests and get some really good endgame items that will make our lives much easier. However, Key's secret walnut room isn't the only place you can get some real nice items here. The Volcano dungeon resets every single day, and you can get some very nice loot inside there if we're lucky, of course. We can get the best defense boots in the game, the Dragon Skell boots. There is a huge combination of very useful rings you can get inside there as well, so we will try our best to get all of those items too. Now, just down here, we have some muscle nodes. Now, you can get up to 5 golden walnuts for breaking open these nodes, but it's quite rare to get one, so we're going to have to come down here on multiple occasions to try to get those 5 golden walnuts. Inside the boat here, there's a very sneaky one, and it actually took me a while to realise you could actually go into that boat. Now, we do have our steel watering can, so we do get to soak this very elusive Dougie, and he will give us a golden walnut, because we're going to allow him to live. And some other golden walnuts are a bit sneaky. There's one here that you get from killing all of the enemies around this area. Now, there was one there on the bush, literally just north of that mahogany tree. I do skip it, but we will get it the next day. There is one here as well, you just have to get rid of all the debris. And this one can be quite sneaky as well, especially if you're new to Ginger Island. Overall, we get exactly 20 golden walnuts without having to fish up any, which was really nice. The last golden walnut is hidden just up here. You just have to hold down W and D. Just keep kind of going up and to the right and you'll get that one eventually. If you have it glowing, it makes it a bit easier. So once we have the 20 golden walnuts assembled, we'll give it to this parrot here. The parrot will call down its parrot friends and they're going to use their parrot magic and fix up the house for us. We're now going to spend the rest of the evening getting as much hardwood as possible. Now, we will be clearing every single debris off this farm anyway, but we'll start with the tree stumps and the large tree stumps just because we want to complete that resource quest for Robin. Not only will it give us lots of money, but we also get lots of friendship points with Robin and we also get a prize ticket as well, so it's definitely worth doing. We also pulled up a lionfish today too, which is one of the Ginger Island exclusive fish. What's left now in terms of Ginger Island exclusive fishies are the blue discus and the manta. So the next day, we are going to take a nice trip into the Volcano dungeon. Now, we have a couple of salads, we don't have any bombs, but it's very easy to get coal in here and it's also very easy to get iron. So if we need to, we can always craft a couple of bombs if we want to detonate large areas of stone. This dungeon volcano is an absolutely magnificent place to collect stone. Probably one of the best places in the game actually. You always get a golden walnut from the first chest. Now that wasn't an elite chest, so we just got some cinder shards from there as well. Now we are going to need tons of cinder shards when it comes to merging rings together and upgrading weapons. Now I haven't fully decided on what kind of weapon I'm going to upgrade yet. It all depends on if we're going to get lucky with the chests inside here, or if we'll just end up upgrading our galaxy weapon to an infinity weapon and just go on that road. But we'll see as we progress. There is a total of 17 golden walnuts we can get inside here. 5 from combat, 5 from mining. You can get a couple from the dwarven caches, and you can get a few from the chests as well. So it's a great place to go if you need golden walnuts. Now when you get to floor 5, the dwarven merchant here has some really cool recipes. We're not going to get the warp totem just yet because it's 10,000 gold. We will however get the ginger ale. It's very cheap to make and it's also very cheap to purchase. We're now going to continue on, and we do get some nice luck today. We got an emerald, a diamond and an aquamarine along with a topaz from killing the dwarven sentry there, which is nice. Now these magma sprites, magma sparklers, are quite the ferocious enemy, especially if the land blows on us. And they have a ton of HP. Also when you hit them, just like the ghosts, they kind of balloon away, so they're a bit irritating to kill. You can get an ice rod later on and it just makes them super easy to kill, but for now we'll just have to put up with their shenanigans and progress on. In the next chest we come across some pineapple seeds. That's very nice. We can get those planted on the farm. There is a quest you can get from Caroline and the reward is solar panels, and normally she'll ask you to either grow taro tubers or she'll ask you to grow pineapples. So we will keep those seeds and we will use those to our advantage. When we get to floor 7, we came across another chest. And it's actually nice to get a couple of these chests. You can get some real nice stuff in the non-elite chests, such as dwarvish weapons. Once we open up this chest, we get greeted with some more cinder shards. You know, we'll take them. The big prize will come on floor 9. That's the floor with the elite chest, and we're going to get some serious prizes from this. We get an early hot Java ring. This is a game changer. This will give us an ability now where if we slay an enemy with this ring equipped it, that enemy has a chance to drop a triple shot espresso, which is fairly rare, or a coffee. Even if they just drop coffees, you're going to sell those and get tons of money. So we're going to take our free prismatic shard. We're going to merge one of our lucky rings with the hot Jaffa ring. I mean, it's a no-brainer to use that ring straight away. It's probably one of the greatest money-making rings in the game. It's just so nice to have it. Also, we will never need to trade in diamonds again for triple shot espressos. That ring just seals the deal right there when it comes to more or less an infinite supply of speed buffs. Before we call it a night, we picked up enough golden walnuts to repair the bridge here. So we're going to make a nice little cherry bomb. We're going to free Professor Snail, and this will unlock the Ginger Island archaeology quest line. Basically, very similar to the museum, we just have to run around Ginger Island, find all of the artifacts, and once that is completed, we get rewarded with an ostrich incubator. We also get tons of golden walnuts, so it's absolutely worth doing. And if you want to get into Key Secret Walnut Room as quickly as possible, then this is something you want to prioritize. Now this little zone here is a great place to pan. Lots of people come here with luck buffs and they try to get lucky rings. You can also come here every couple of days and you can farm tons of bone fragments, and bone fragments will be needed for the community quest later on. Fragments of the past that we'll eventually pick up from Gunther. Having access to that area trivializes the quest entirely. Bone shards are also needed to put into a bone mill, and bone mills will give you back some great items, so it's just a nice item all around to have access to. Now today, primarily, we're just going to cut down trees. We're also looking for golden coconuts because we're going to need at least 2 of those to get one of the Ginger Island artifacts to complete Professor Snail's quests, because when you break open the first golden coconut, you always get a golden walnut. I forgot that you got Foraging XP every time you hold up one of these gingers, and most days, these big pile of gingers, they respawn. So it's just going to be a really nice way to get some extra Foraging XP around here. Especially because we're so close to level 10 Foraging as well. It'd be really nice to get that. Now, because we have our hoe with us, we're just going to run up here and get a few more golden walnuts that were hiding around the place. There's 2 really easy ones we can get here as well, just by crossing the bridge. You can actually go into the cave here that Professor Snail got stuck in, and every couple of days you can get some mushrooms from this cave. We got some purple mushrooms, red mushrooms, common mushrooms. We also fished up a golden walnut, and we also fished up, shortly after that, a fossilized spine, one of the many pieces needed to complete Professor Snail's archaeology quest. We actually headed back to the mainland. Because it was Saturday, I just wanted to make the most of today, and I pulled up all of these forageables over by the tide pool area, so we're going to get even more foraging XP for these. The next day, the kegs are ready. Now, we only have a small handful of kegs at the moment, converting starfruit and starfruit wine. That would eventually dramatically increase because we have a lot of trees now creating oak resins. And that's the bottleneck at the moment. It's just waiting for those oak resins so we can make more kegs. We have lots of bars. We have tons of wood. So we made a few more kegs today. We're going to put these inside our main house. We have about 17 pieces of lovely starfruit wine we get to harvest today. That means we're going to make a ton of money when we put these into the shipping bin. And we're going to put these into the shipping bin today because we still need lots of money to do lots of things like tool upgrades, books of power, buying more crops, making more money, scaling things up. We also got some maple syrups today as well. We're not going to sell these, we're going to keep those, and we will use those to get ourselves some lovely honey. We are in fall, would be nice to get some nice premium fairy rose honey before the season is out. So we just completed Robin's project today. That's 2,000 gold in the bag and some friendship points with Robin. We got some ancient fruit from our greenhouse. We are now going to convert those ancient fruits into ancient fruit seeds. Let's cross our fingers we don't get mixed seeds, and we don't. We get back a total of 3 ancient fruit seeds, and they will go back into our lovely greenhouse because we do eventually want the greenhouse to be an ancient fruit greenhouse. I gave another sandfish to Penny today that pushed her up to 7 out of 8 hearts. We will continue to work on Penny, so eventually she'll move into the farm with us and have lots of babies. So, Marcelo visited our lovely valley today. We are going to purchase Way of the Wind Part 2. Now, it did cost a lot of money, but it is worth it. It does give us a permanent increase to our movement. That means we can get a lot more done in a day. We now have Way of the Wind Part 1 and Way of the Wind Part 2. We're also going to pick up our prize ticket for completing Robin's resource quest. And for the rest of the day, we are going to do some fishing. What I was looking for were tiger trout, but I didn't get any today. I also went to the secret woods. Almost forgot about our valuable regenerating tree stumps, so we're just going to get those as well. We're very close to getting Foraging level 10. We won't get it this week, but we should absolutely get it next week. Now, we do eventually just pass out by cutting down trees. Not to worry, we did make over 60,000 gold today, primarily from selling starfruit wine, and there you have it. 17 pieces that get us 53,000 gold. We also made a lot of gold from mining as well. 1 gold bar, some diamonds, aquamarines, amethysts. We don't need the diamonds anymore for Superstar Expressos. And for the other category, primarily just 9 battery packs. They were just lying around the place. And that is the end of another week. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks again to everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice week. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another 100% completion Stardew Valley Let's Play. So we are now going into the second week of fall. We're going to pick up Pierre's prime produce here. We just need to pick up some gold star vegetables. Not to worry, we have over 100 pumpkins on the farm that are almost fully mature. Just take a couple of more days. We're now going to venture on over to Ginger Island, and we need to get cracking with these golden walnuts. We need to find 100 so we can get into Key's secret walnut room. We also need more golden walnuts so we can unlock the beach area there. That'll open up a whole new zone for us to explore. We are still on the lookout for artifacts so we can complete Professor Snail's archaeology site quest. So any sort of artifacts we can put up here from the dig site will be an added bonus to us. We also need to get Clint to break open some golden coconuts in the hopes to get some artifacts from that as well. So we're going into the Volcano dungeon today, and we're on the lookout for cinder shards. The more enchants we can get our character, the easier it's going to be to make some in-game progression. We're also very close to reaching mastery. We have level 9 combat. We also have level 9 foraging. So if we can get those to 10 this week, that'll be absolutely amazing. That's the main goal for this week, is to max out all of our skills and get into the mastery tiers. Now the Volcano is a great place to level up combat as well. We managed to get a real nice upgrade today. We got the mermaid boots. That's more defense and more immunity for our character. So we're going to swap out the space boots straight away for those. The only boots better than those in terms of defense are the dragon scale boots, and we can pick those up inside here too. Now we don't end up getting the dragon scale boots this week, but we will absolutely take the mermaid boots any day. The next day we start by hoeing up some of the ground here on Ginger Island. We are going to plant some taro tubers. The great thing about these are that you don't have to water them as long as they're planted near the water. You can plant these up to 3 tiles out from a water source, and they will automatically irrigate themselves every single day. We're now going to do some fishing today. We just pulled up the blue discus here, and this is needed for the fishing collection. If we want to 100% this game, we would have to capture all the fish. We headed on over to the east side of the island. We picked up a mummified frog. That's needed for Professor Snail's archaeology quest. I also picked up some tent kits here as well. Now I just ended up selling those because I already have the house unlocked, so I don't really need the tent kits. There's a lot of forageables around this area as well that we get to pick up. We're going to go into Professor Snail's tent. We're going to do the island survey. Now, the first report is purple flowers, and I've done this so many times I already know the figures. The second one is purple starfish, and I thought it was going to be 18. That's 2 more handy golden walnuts right there. I also donated the mummified frog and the mummified bat. I picked up the bat by doing the volcano dungeon. That was 2 more golden walnuts. I just had to find 2 more, and I could unlock the beach. There was a chance I might get one from mining open the mussel nodes here. Now, this is quite rare to get a golden walnut, but you can get up to 5 by mining these open, and I think I have only 1 or 2 golden walnuts from these nodes at the moment, so there was a chance to get at least 2 or 3 more. I did manage to get one up at the top right hand corner along with the pearl, and I managed to get just 1 more that we needed just north of Birdie's house. Now, these can only be unlocked if you get the corresponding journal note, and we were looking to get those journal notes sooner rather than later. Now that we've upgraded the beach, a lot of the Stardew Valley NPCs will visit here. What we're really looking out for now is Gus. If Gus decides to visit here, we need to prioritise purchasing the recipe for the tropical curry. Otherwise, it might be very hard to get perfection, making it a bit harder to 100% the game. We now get access to the east side of the beach, and there's a few golden walnuts we can pull up here. The first one is in this little pool of water, and the second one is in a hoeing spot just to the right of where our character is. So once we grab these 2 golden walnuts, we can head into the pirate's cave, and there's a very sneaky golden walnut just at the bottom right hand side there. We can also fish up the very last Ginger Island fish we need in order to complete the Ginger Island portion of the fishing collection. What we're going to get here now is what's called a stingray. Now, it is quite the catch. It's a very difficult fish, but we had an iridium rod. We also had a trap bobber, so nothing to worry about. We also haven't fished up all of the golden walnuts you can get over on Ginger Island. There's a total of 5 you can fish up, and we'll try to get the majority of those today. The stingray is worth 405 gold. That's a gold quality. If we smoke that up, you could probably easily get over 1,000 gold for that. Not a bad way to make some money on the side. We are now going to enchant our galaxy sword. I was really hoping for Crusader. It just means farming those mummy kills are a whole lot easier. We ended up getting Haymaker. Now, Haymaker can be quite good, especially if you have animals, which we don't at the moment. But that might be a nod in the animal direction. For the rest of the night, we are going to do lots and lots of fishing. Now, we end up getting tons of fish today. We end up getting lionfish, we get super cucumbers, we also get a host of sea jellies, along with some well-needed golden walnuts. Now, we end up getting the rest of the golden walnuts that we need from fishing today, which was really nice. We can also sell all of these fish to make lots of money as well. Now, we have 61,000 gold at the moment. I am saving up my money. I don't know as of now what I'm going to invest it in, but more than likely it's going to be animals. We are now entering into winter. We haven't got any animals yet on the farm, so all this money will be put into animals. We can get pigs, we can get rabbits, we can get everything. The next day, we are going all in with foraging. We are going to be swinging his axe and pulling up forageables until we hit level 10 foraging. Now, we do need a couple of thousand foraging XP, but not to worry. We get 3 XP every time we get a berry bush, and there's lots of berry bushes to be gotten. All of these hardwood stumps will give 25 XP, which is really nice. And we also pay our lovely raccoon friend a visit, and we finally got the mussels and the smoked tilapia to complete another quest for him. As a reward, we got 25 broccoli seeds, which is pretty nice. For the rest of the day, we're just cutting down more trees. We're very close to foraging level 10, so very exciting times indeed. Once we max out foraging, we just have to clear combat, and we can then get into the mastery cave and get some very powerful perks. So we just needed a few more foraging XP to get level 10 foraging. Thankfully, there was a host of lovely forageable items that we could grab down here, including bushes that were given blackberries. We also had a couple of trees left as well that could give us the XP we needed to get level 10 foraging. There was 1 tree left in Cindersap Forest, and I had exactly 4,986 foraging skill points. So cutting down this tree was going to do it. This was going to give us a final level of foraging. It's just so hard now to get foraging up to level 10. If anybody has any tips on how you might get foraging to level 10 in spring, please let me know in the comments. We can now get the final foraging perk, Botanist. Foraged items are always of the highest quality. We also made 26,000 gold today. This was primarily from just selling fish related items. I also sold over 130 blackberries. That came to over 2,800 gold, which was a bit hilarious considering the amount of blackberries I had. In terms of fish, I sold all of the raw I've been saving up. I was going to preserve these, but every time I got coal, it just ended up being used to smelt ores into bars. So I just sold the raw because it was just sitting there for so long. Now we needed combat level 10. The best way to get that is to go into the Skell Cavern and lay waste to the enemies within. Now on the first floor I got very lucky, I picked up 2 diamonds. For the rest of the dungeon, we are primarily going to focus on fighting monsters. I mean, if we make it down far, that'll be a bonus. We can get some iridium ores, we can sell those and get some money. But the priority for now would be maxing out our combat skill. The serpents drop really good XP. To be honest, every single enemy inside of the Skell Caverns drop very good XP, especially those big slime blobs. The ones that explode with the miniature slimes, they give exceptionally good XP, so if we see those, we're absolutely going to prioritise those as well. Now, we should be able to hit level 10 combat today, and if we can get it inside Skell Caverns, we will go straight into getting Mastery XP, so there's even a chance we can come out with a level in Mastery today as well, if we detonate tons of iridium nodes. But first, let's just focus on killing these regular foes, and getting lots of combat experience. It's actually amazing to see just how fast you can level up combat if you were to come into Skell Caverns every single day and just primarily focus on combat. You could just spam floor 1 over and over again and just fight enemies and farm nodes. That would be a fairly good method, or you could just try to get down as deep as possible. Now we do hit a good few treasure rooms today, and we do get extraordinarily lucky. Floor 34 was the floor that the magic happened. This purple slime done the job for us and got us up to combat level 10. Thank you very much. All of the XP we get after this is going to go into Mastery XP, so there's a very good chance now we can even get a level in Mastery today. It was only 11:40, it was morning time, we had the whole day to make the most of the Skell Cavern. We got down to floor 80 here, we got a treasure room, we picked up an auto petter. Now, we absolutely have to get animals because we don't even have to pet them anymore. The auto petter will look after our animal needs. All we needed now was an auto grabber and we were sorted. If we wanted to, we could purchase one off Marnie, but it was a whopping 20 or 25,000 gold. So it would be really nice to get one inside of a treasure room instead of purchasing one off Marnie, because Marnie's just a rip-off in all fairness. I got some dinosaur floors today, that was really nice. We also need to think about our monster eradication goals. So it's very important that we still keep up the combat and wipe out as many enemies as possible. Floor 99 was a banger of a floor, there was tons of iridium ores to be harvested. Now we're also encountering iridium bats. These are still very dangerous and they can hit us tons of damage, so we have to be very careful. Despite the fact that we were almost on floor 100, we still had not received one prismatic shard. They're just gone so rare these days. When we got to floor 100, we just got Omni Geodes inside the chest. I have gotten better, I have gotten worse though, to be honest, and the Omni Geodes are still needed. We need to break those open to get all of the minerals to complete a lot of the collections. On floor 102, we were rewarded with our first prismatic shard. And you know what they say? When it rains, it absolutely pours, and that is the first of many prismatic shards we're going to see today. I came across a group of mummies, I decided to wipe them all out, drop a bomb and detonate them. Now if we had Crusader, we wouldn't have to do this, they would just disintegrate before us. Even if we had the napalm ring, they'd be much easier to kill as well, but alas, we have neither. We did pick up an auto grabber, so we now absolutely have to invest in animals. It would be an absolute sin if we didn't. So we just got an auto petter, an auto grabber and an enchant haymaker. I mean, we are absolutely set up now to have as many animals on the farm as we wish. And the Ferngale farm is absolutely massive. That's the farm type we're using. So we should absolutely fill it up with animals. Fill it up with ostriches, fill it up with rabbits, fill it up with chickens, fill it up with every single animal you can get in this game. Now because we got level 10 combat, we're absolutely going to take brute 15% more damage. It does stack very nice with the first perk. This means enemies will be much easier to kill. Let's take a look at the spoils of war. 4 prismatic shards. We got over 300 iridium ores, dinosaur eggs, an auto petter, an auto grabber, an iridium bar. We got diamonds. We got lots of copper ores. We got lots of emeralds. It was just an absolutely magnificent run. We also got over 7400 experience. We didn't get the first level in mastery, but we got very close. So we were now going to smelt up all these beautiful iridium ores and turn them into iridium bars. They would sell for 1500 gold a piece. We're going to sell all of this lovely legendary rod that we're collecting as well. and we're going to get Clint to break open all of these geodes in the hopes to get all of the minerals that we need to complete at least the mineral collection. We then went to Gunther and we are going to donate all of the minerals and artifacts that we found. Let's take a look at the mineral collection list so far. We just need 4 more minerals and that will be done. In terms of artifacts though, we're still a good ways off collecting all those, but once we start trading in our Omni Geodes for artifact troves, it'll be very surprising at how quickly we beat that. It was then a trip up to Robin, you don't have to tell me twice. We are going to purchase a Coop that will be fully upgraded. It was off to Willie to purchase the fish smoker. I know we're in fall, I haven't got the fish smoker yet, but hey, this is a completion run. I'm not really focusing on making hundreds of millions in gold by the end of year 1. I just want to complete as much of the game as possible. So for the rest of the day, well, a good portion of today, we're going to do some fishing. We really needed a tiger trout. We're almost halfway through fall and we hadn't caught one. Thankfully, RNG was on our side today and we picked up our first tiger trout. That's needed for the fishing collection, of course. Back on the farm, we're doing some farm management. We're going to collect all of our lovely iridium bars and they will be sold for lots of money. Once those iridium bars do get sold, I wanted to check out the monster eradication goals. As we can see, we've made some decent progress on a lot of the monsters, but there's still a long ways to go to get the Monster Slayer Hero achievement. We needed a lot of Void Spirits, we still needed a lot of Dust Sprites, a lot of Slimes, Rock Crabs, Mummies, we needed a lot of everything basically. So for the rest of the day, we're going to go into the regular mines and we are going to lay waste to the enemies within. Now I got very lucky here. On floor 106, I came across an infested area. And I basically farmed this floor for the rest of the day. Now, unfortunately, it does take me a while to clear this floor because our weapon, despite the fact that it's a good weapon, it's a galaxy weapon, it's not an extraordinarily powerful weapon just yet. So it does take a few swings to kill these slimes. But it's still a really good way to progress the monster eradication goals. So 106 every time. Now, what slowed us down also was the fact that you weren't guaranteed a staircase on floor 105, so we would have to mine our way down here, and I wasn't going to waste tons of stone on staircases to speed up the process. Now we don't complete any monster eradication goals today bar the bats, because we just needed to kill one bat and we've done that easy enough, but we get very close to completing the crabs and the void spirits, so it was a really good day for progression. Now to speed things up a little bit, I took a spicy eel and a triple shot espresso just to get that movement speed bonus. The extra luck does come in handy as well because it makes finding staircases on floor 105 that little bit easier. There's also a chance we can get some really nice items off these enemies. We do have the hot Java ring, so these enemies are dropping coffees and triple shot espressos anyway, making this quite the profitable run. We're also getting valuable XP towards our mastery level, and all of the combat XP that we picked up today, it does go a long way. We're also getting bombs and mega bombs off killing these squid kids. So in all fairness, today was actually very beneficial in terms of XP, in terms of monster eradication progress, and in terms of items gained. The next day, it's just the usual farm management. We're collecting all of our iridium bars. We're also going to collect another portion of oak resins, and we're going to use these to make more kegs. All of our kegs are inside of a house at the moment. We're also going to visit Clint and we're going to upgrade our axe to an iridium axe. We will strive to upgrade all of our tools to iridium tools. Now, I'm not going to sell those prismatic shards. They're going straight over to Ginger Island. I picked up a ruby off of the West Gem Bird. So we're going to go over to the Gem Shrine and we're going to put that into its pedestal. 3 gem birds to go. Now if we get one more gem bird, we can more or less guess, you know, the rest of the pedestals by bringing an assortment of amethysts, topazes, emeralds, diamonds, etc. to see what will fit the pedestals and we'll get those bonus golden walnuts. We're going back into the Volcano dungeon today and we're just going to kill more enemies, we're going to farm more ores, but more importantly, we're looking to obtain more golden walnuts. We still haven't gotten all of the golden walnuts via combat. They can still be dropped by fighting monsters. And we just get a few more golden walnuts today by fighting these lava lurkers. There's also a chance these lava lurkers can drop dragon's teeth. And we need those to trade in for banana saplings. We also need those to enchant weapons as well. After slaying tons of monsters and blowing open lots of nodes, we finally reached our first level in mastery. Now at this moment in time, I wasn't fully decided on what way I was going to go, what mastery tier I would select first. I also picked up a deluxe pirate hat and floor 9 here from the elite chest. Now I do prefer my leprechaun hat, so we will keep the leprechaun hat on us. We do end up making it to floor 10 and we get to enchant all of our tools. The pickaxe, we got very lucky, this received the swift enchant. I was very happy with that. I also enchanted our watering can, that got the bottomless enchant. That is going to be a game changer for us. I wanted to enchant our weapon again, I really wanted Crusader, but I didn't have enough cinder shards. So instead I just put a ruby inside it, increasing its base attack power. So the weapon will hit just a little bit harder. It is now time for the final day of this episode, Sunday. Now we're going to start with the Queen of Sauce. We learned the trout soup. We're also going to harvest all of this lovely starfruit wine. We are going to sell this for extraordinary amounts of money. We have 135,000 gold at the moment. This is going to send us skyrocketing. Now we're going to convert all of our ores into bars. We need to make more kegs. We also get to pick up all of these lovely pumpkins as well. Now, I'm not going to bother putting these pumpkins into kegs or putting these pumpkins into preserve bins. We're just going to sell them. But we need to make sure that we keep at least 25 gold star pumpkins to clear Pierre's prime produce quest. We get 2,500 gold as a reward, which just wasn't worth it. But we do need to complete all of these special orders quests to get friendship points and special items. We're going to fill up the kegs now with the rest of our starfruit. We are running quite low on starfruit, but not to worry. If we need to grow more, we have the greenhouse. We also have Ginger Island. We can go to Sandy anytime we want. We're going to select Combat Mastery, and trinkets make the game so interesting, especially if we get the Parrot trinket. If we get that, we can get hundreds of thousands of gold on a daily basis by wiping out monsters. So it's just going to add a lot more variety to the game now with the trinket slots. We're going to collect 2 more ancient fruit from our greenhouse. We are trying to make this a fully fledged ancient fruit greenhouse. We're going to put these ancient fruit into our seed makers, and I'm hoping for really good results. The worst case scenario, we get back mixed seeds. Hopefully that won't happen today. Luck is on our side. Each seed maker gives us back 3 ancient fruit each. That's 6 ancient seeds we get to put back into our greenhouse. Absolutely amazing luck right there. It was now time to sell a big bunch of items. Let's see how much money we're going to make from today. We have made a total of 154,000 gold. Now, the big culprit of this is the starfruit wine, but we also have some gold from selling pumpkins, eggplants, bok choy, cranberries. I know there's much better things we can do with these, but at the end of the day, we have lots of money. We don't need to min-max everything out. And that is the end of another Stardew Valley Let's Play episode. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for the next Stardew Valley episode next week, and I hope everybody that's watched this video has a fantastic week. A big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. A lot of you will be incorporated into next week's episode when we start to purchase animals. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another 100% Stardew Valley completion Let's Play. So we are now entering the 3rd week of fall, and we have made some fierce progress in this Let's Play. This is going to be another week to remember. We're going to see some decent progression now in the next couple of days. So we're going to pick up the rest of our pumpkins. They're the last pumpkins you're going to see. We're going to go to Robin, and we are going to get her to build us a big coop, and we will eventually upgrade that to a deluxe coop as well and fill it up with animals. Our special order questing is going quite well. We managed to get the community cleanup today. This was quite lucky. If we complete this quest, we are going to unlock the fiber seeds, and they are absolutely amazing to get earlier rather than later. We get our iridium axe off Clint. We can now cut down trees with just 3 swings, which is amazing. We're going to give in the watering can now for upgrade, and eventually we'll upgrade all of our tools to iridium tier. We're going to spend a good portion now of today fishing up trash to complete the community cleanup quest. We're also going to get some decorations here too, which is the vista, and you can actually get an unlimited amount of vistas if you spent days or weeks just fishing in this little area. You could fill up your house with tons of vista paintings if you wanted. Now, as you can see, it just took us a few in-game hours, and once we fished up, I think it was 20 pieces of trash, we're just going to put them up into the box up here, and that is going to be a quest complete. Now, you only get like a few hundred gold for completing this quest, 500 gold there, but the big prize will come tomorrow. Now, for the next few days, we are going to focus on monster eradication goals, because at the end of the day, it's a completionist playthrough, And I need to start, completing stuff. So we need to wipe out tons of white spirits. We need to kill like 1,000 slimes. We need to kill dust sprites. We basically need to kill everything except insects. Now those squid kits don't count for anything, but look, you kill it in one hit. If we see it, we'll just wipe it out. It does drop squid ink. That is actually used in a recipe or two. Now, we picked up an ice rod. This is an amazing trinket, and I end up falling in love with the ice rod, and it's actually a trinket that we're going to use for the rest of the foreseeable future. It just makes combat so much fun. We also got the fiber seeds there in the mail of our lovely friend Linus. We're going to make some fiber seeds now. We just need some mixed seeds, sap, and clay. The bottleneck there was clay, but if we want to make more fiber seeds in the future, we just have to go down to the mines with our nice iridium hoe and just clay farm up the place. It's now the 16th, which means it's time for the Stardew Valley Fair. I was fairly confident with my selection of items to get first place. I put into Joja Cola just for the fun of things because we went the Joja route. We still got first place with a rating of 99, got 1,000 star tokens. Now I normally gamble all my star tokens, but first I'm just going to take all of my items back, because if I don't take them back, I'm pretty sure you'll lose them for good. Now I gambled all my star tokens on green. I normally choose green when I gamble these tokens. Fortunately, I lost. It landed on orange. So I just spent the rest of the event fishing, and I just did this maybe, 4 or 5 times, and I managed to get enough star tokens then to get everything I needed from the shop. Now there's a few things from the shop we absolutely need to 100% the game. We need the rare crow, and you can only get that from the shop. We also needed the star drop, and we picked that up as well. Now we had some spare tokens left over, so once we got the rare crow and the star drop, I managed to get the prize ticket as well. And those prize tickets are accumulated at the moment. We'll trade them on and eventually for some good stuff. So we get the gold watering can off Clint. We're going to bring that straight back into him for an upgrade to the iridium watering can. It's sent back down to the mines, and we're still hunting void spirits. We need to kill 150 of those in total, but we're getting there. And if we see slimes, sure, we'll kill those as well. Now normally if I'm farming slimes only, I'll just, either do Skull Cavern runs and fight those big purple blobs, or I'll just fight the green slimes at the starter levels of the mines. But look, if we see reds, we'll kill them. It's just hitting 2 birds with the 1 stone. We're also getting lots of resources as well. We do have the hot Jaffa ring. That means these enemies have a chance to drop coffees and triple shot espressos. And I mean, that alone is going to get us all the money we need for the foreseeable future. Eventually, we will get to the stage where we need to make the big money. We can always just fill up Ginger Island with starfruit when that happens. As we can see, the ice rod is absolutely amazing. Once it freezes an enemy in place, they're basically helpless. But you know what the best thing about the ice rod? It will lock on to crabs. So sometimes I find it very difficult to find crabs, especially if they're the cowering crab and doesn't actually pop up to attack you. And you don't have bombs all the time. So the trinket makes it really handy to identify them, because it will freeze them in place even if they're in their defensive form. So it just makes the kill count on those crabs a little bit easier. Once you see that frost orb fire out and lock onto one of them, it's really good. Now that's our monster eradication goal done for the void spirits, just popped up there in the bottom left hand side of our screen. We're now going to start farming duggies, but before we get the duggies, we're just going to loot all of the mushrooms from this room. Now our foraging skill is maxed out, so all of these mushrooms will be of iridium quality. That means loads of profit, but it also means that our bag isn't going to get filled up with mushrooms, because we're not going to get all different kinds of mushroom qualities. They're all just going to be nice iridium mushrooms. Now we're going to basically spam floor 15 for the foreseeable future until we get enough duggy kills. Now fortunately, you don't need to kill a huge amount of these things, so it doesn't take us too long to complete. I decided to make a big chest, and I'm going to swap out our mining chest with it because I was just running out of space. I picked up a prize ticket there for completing the community cleanup, and we're now going to take a nice stroll down to the beach. If we see artifact spots, we are absolutely going to hold them up. I would like to complete all of the artifacts, minerals, and capture all the fish by the end of the first year. I think that would be a nice dent and some nice progression, to get perfection and to get 100%. Now, we did a lot of fishing today because we were missing a fish. It was the albacore. Now, our tackle just worn out there, and I used up all my deluxe bait, but I got lucky. The next fishing challenge was the albacore that we needed. Now, that's all the fish caught in fall. We just have to wait until winter now to get the rest of them, and of course, we have to do the submarine event as well to get the 3 special fish. it was Marnie's birthday, I give her the diamond. That got us lots of friendship points. We're going to pick up the lucky purple shorts here as well, and we'll give these to Lewis just to complete a quest. Now, you can actually pickaxe up all these jack-o'-lanterns, and here's a great tip for you. If you have a deconstructor, you can put a jack-o'-lantern into it and you'll get back a pumpkin. So if you're ever really stuck for the pumpkin, just throw a jack-o'-lantern inside the deconstructor. We have enough prize tickets to get another Book of Power. This is called the Friendship 101, and this just makes getting friendship points with the NPCs a little bit easier. It gives us a bit of a boost, and we're going to need to get a lot of the NPCs up to almost max hearts to learn all of the recipes. If we want to 100% this game, we have to cook everything up. We just returned Lewis's lucky purple shorts, and he was fairly satisfied about that. You get a pretty nice reward actually for returning his shorts. You get 750 gold. It's not a bad reward if you try to do that in summer when the quest activates. We're going to go to Robin, and now we are going to chain upgrade into the deluxe coop. We have the money, we have the materials, so we might as well just start putting down all these structures now and get it out of the way. We went to the mutant bug lair. We picked up a slime jack. That's also needed for the 100% completion because we have to capture all the fish in the game. The slime jack actually is fairly profitable, especially if you smoke it up. And there's only 2 types of fish you can catch down here: carps and slime jacks. I believe that's about it. So we're going to talk to good old Gus here. We're going to purchase all of his recipes: triple shot espressos, hash browns, pizza. We need to cook everything up, of course. We're also going to buy spaghetti. Robin loves spaghetti. We need to get her up to maybe 5 or 6 hearts, so she would teach us the flute and the drum blocks, which we need. We're going to purchase all of the skill books off of the book vendor here, and we're also going to get some books of power. We'll get the one to speed up the horse, the all slender legs, which makes us go through crops and grass faster, and we're going to pick up the price catalogue as well. Now, we don't really need the price catalogue because we're using the the UI info suite, but it is nice to just max out the wallet, make it look nice and cool. And it's only 3,000 gold, so why not? Let's take a look at our specials tab. We have a lot of books of power right now. There's still 4 mastery levels to go, but we'll start unlocking those mastery levels very quickly in the next few weeks. We just got our iridium watering can. Now we're going to chain upgrade the hoe, and that's going to be upgraded all the way to an iridium hoe. We now went to the dig site here over on Ginger Island. We're looking for artifacts because we want to complete Professor Snail's archaeology side quest. If we complete that, we're going to get tons of golden walnuts because we still haven't gotten into Key's secret walnut room, and the sooner we get in there and the sooner we start farming up key gems, the sooner we can get the recipes and make all the stuff that we need to make to 100% the game. Now, we did get very lucky and we pulled up a palm fossil. That is something you cannot get out of an artifact trove, so it's always nice to get that sooner rather than later. We also got lucky with the mussel nodes. We picked up 2 more golden walnuts from them, and it is pretty rare to get golden walnuts from them, but you can get up to 5, so that was a nice surprise for me. We also spoke to the frog. We had 2 of the 3 crops required for his side quest. We had the wheat and the melon. I actually haven't come across a garlic seed yet. Sometimes you can get them in the Skull Caverns, but it just wasn't really happening for us in this year. But if we don't get it in Skull Caverns, we can buy it off Pierre in year 2, so it's not the end of the world. And we don't need the garlic to get into his secret walnut room. There's other activities we can do, such as the horrendous pylon puzzle here, to give us some more golden walnuts to get up to 100 to get into that secret walnut room. Now, I cheated this. I recorded it with my phone because I didn't want to spend the whole day here. So there you go. I used my phone, I recorded the combinations, and yeah, I cheated the minigame. I just hate it so much. We went to Clint with some geodes, but more importantly, we got him to break open some golden coconuts here, and we managed to get the last artifact we needed for Professor Snail's archaeology quest. Now, he will give us an ostrich incubator for completing that quest as well, and it would be nice to have a couple of ostriches on the farm later on. That's a malachite there, and the pan fossil that we donated to Gunther. There's still a long ways to go. Now, we actually donated enough to unlock the crystallarium. It's always nice to get a free crystallarium, I have to say. They are quite expensive to make. We're going to go back to Robin now, and this time Robin is going to make a barn. Basically, for the foreseeable future, we'll be using Robin when she's off cooldown. So once she finishes something, we're going to get her to make something else. We purchased all of Robin's recipes, so all of the braziers and other bits and pieces. We're also going to give Robin a spaghetti. At the moment, we have her on 4 hearts out of 10. we need to get her up to, I think it's 6, and then she'll give us the drum block and the flute block. And if we bring that over to Ginger Island when it's raining, we can use the block to get 5 more golden walnuts with the mermaid. It's time to get some animals, but first I'm going to purchase 2 heaters because winter is upon us, and I'm also going to purchase an auto grabber. So I'd like to have 1 auto grabber for the barn and another auto grabber for the coop. We already have an auto grabber that we got in Skull Caverns, so we just had to buy 1. We're going to get 12 rabbits, and we're going to name them after the GamerGuard channel members. So we have Pantox, Natasha, Bonkers Busy. We've got Vice City, Taylor H, Valiant Chicken, Mania Ilyana, Sabrina Duty. We have the Awkward Burb. We have Ty. We also have Sarah Kroll. Last but not least, we have Glitter Sparks. Thanks so much, my lovely channel members. The rest of you, if you're watching, you will become future animals in the next couple of days. Now, the raccoon wanted a dried pomegranate and a cranberry jelly. The cranberry will be easy, but the pomegranate, that's going to be a serious challenge because we don't even have a tree planted that's going to yield fruit like that, and we don't have the bat cave. So it's going to take us a while to get the pomegranate, but we'll get there eventually. We're going to pet all our lovely rabbits. We're also going to put down the auto petter and the auto grabber, and we're going to put in the heaters as well. This way, we won't even have to look at our rabbits on a daily basis if we don't want to, because the auto petter and auto grabber will see to it that they're happy and that their items are collected. That's Professor Snail's quest complete. We're going to get tons of golden walnuts from this. We're also going to get a mango sapling and a banana sapling as well. We will need a banana to give into a monkey or a gorilla for a few more golden walnuts later on once that tree grows up. So we're now going to unlock the warp totem over on Ginger Island. It's just going to make it much faster to get back to our farm if we have to get back quickly. We also get a free warp totem back to Ginger Island, which is nice, so that'll come in handy. We're now back in the mines and we're farming up more diglets. God have mercy on them. We just got the monster eradication goal there for slaying the crabs. We just have to kill a few more of these diglets now and we're going to get another monster eradication goal complete. So today is Sunday. It's the last day now of the this week's Let's Play. And we're going to get all of these lovely starfruit wines. This is going to be the big money right here. And this is going to put us up to probably, you know, maybe 150 or 200,000 once we sell all those. Now, there's 1 week of fall left, then we're on to winter, and before you know it, we have a year done. So, we're getting there with the challenge. Would be nice to 100% the game before we get to year 3. So that's what I'm kind of aiming for. Year 2 will be more of a money-making year than anything. We're also filling up our greenhouse with more ancient fruits. So eventually we will have a greenhouse filled up to the top with lovely ancient fruits, and that's going to make us a ton of money in the future because we can convert all that ancient fruit into wine. And if we fully upgrade our house, we can age some of that wine too. So sooner rather than later, we're going to get huge bursts of money. The greenhouse is quite small at the moment, but this is going to multiply very quickly over the next week or two because we're getting more and more ancient fruits all the time. We're also getting the odd ancient seed here and there, especially if we're going into the regular mines killing insects. Now, I tried to hoe up the ground here using a bomb because Clint had my hoe. I ended up destroying my sprinklers. So, you know, it wasn't a great start to today. I also tried giving Robin a spaghetti today as well because it was her birthday, but I couldn't because she was building a barn. So, yeah, today just wasn't going my way, to be honest. I then decided to go back down to the mines and take my frustration out on these diglets. We do get the monster eradication goal today, which was great. So the diglets will be glad to hear that we're never going to come down here again to slay them. They can live in peace. We're now going to go and check out our monster eradication goals. So we're getting there with the slimes, another few hundred. Void Spirit's done, Bat's done, Cave Insect's done, Dougie's done. We're close with the Dust Sprites, and the skeletons won't take long. I'd say maybe 1 day, and we'll have the skeletons done. Lots of mummies needed, lots of pepper rexes, so more prehistoric floors please. A lot of serpents are needed, and a few runs to the volcano to fight magma sprites. Now, we got some very powerful rings for completing some of these goals. We got the Savage Ring, which is one of my favourites. You get a speed boost when you kill an enemy. Crab Shell Ring plus 5 defense is amazing. And the Vampire Ring it's fairly decent for health. But if you get the Fairy Trinket, you know, you don't really need it. For the rest of the day, we're just cutting down trees. I tried to fish up a stone there. That didn't work out. Today's just not going my way, is it? What are we going to mess up next, I wonder? Now, the reason why we're cutting down so many trees is for 2 reasons. Number 1, we're getting Mastery XP. And number 2, we need tons of wood if we want to get tons of structures put down on the farm. Because when we get Robin to start making barns, then big barns and deluxe barns and other things, the wood goes very quickly. The same applies if you want to make tons of preserve jars or kegs or things like that. Your stacks upon stacks of wood, 999 pieces per stack, it dwindles very fast. So we made 142,000 gold today. That primarily came from selling the old starfruit wine there. It's just unrivaled really, isn't it? And that is the end of this Let's Play video. Another Let's Play video will be released very soon. And thanks everyone for watching. I hope you have a great week. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hello everybody, this is Gamer Gar. Welcome back to another 100% Stardew Valley completion Let's Play. We are now entering the final week of fall. So before we know it, we're going to have one whole year done with this challenge. We have a deluxe coop filled up to the top with cozy rabbits. Eventually, they're going to start banging out tons of rabbits' feet. That's going to make getting friendship up with the NPCs trivial. We're also going to pick up another special orders quest. We're going to go with fragments of the past. We need to gather 100 pieces of bone for Gunther there. We have unlocked Ginger Island, that will be simple to do. We're also going to take our copper hoe off Clint, and we're going to chain upgrade that all the way to an iridium hoe. We're now going to enter Ginger Island. It was a rainy day over here, and we managed to get an amethyst off the east gem bird. So because we have 2 of the 4 minerals, we can more or less guess what the last 2 are going to be by bringing along a topaz, an emerald, and an aquamarine. After guessing a few combinations, we figure out the puzzle and we get 5 golden walnuts as a reward, which is pretty nice. I now had over 100 golden walnuts, so I could enter Key's secret walnut room. We have 2 quests available. Let's play a game, that's the Junimo cart, and Key's prismatic grange. And because the prismatic grange is going for more key gems, 35 in total, we're going to give the Junimo cart a break for now, and we're going to take on the grange quest. We do have lots of resources on the farm to make that quest fairly simple to do. We're also trying to collect all of the bone fragments here now for Gunther. The dig site is a great place to come every couple of days. We also get very lucky here. We pick up 3 artifacts we haven't gotten before. We got the skeletal hand, the prehistoric skull, and the skeletal tail. All artifacts needed to give in to Gunther to progress his own artifact side quests. So that is a step in the right direction there when it comes to getting all of the minerals and getting all of the artifacts the game has to offer within the first year. So because we have all of the bone shards from Ginger Island, we're now going to go down into the 70s here in the regular mines. We're going to farm up skeletons because they also drop bone fragments. We also need to kill a lot of skeletons for monster eradication goals, so this is basically hitting 2 birds with the 1 stone. Any diamonds we pick up, we're going to keep those because we need 10 diamonds in total to get a special book of power off of the dwarf over in Ginger Island. He's located on the 5th floor inside the Volcano cave. We're also collecting iron ores as well and coal so we can make more bombs if we want to do more Skull Cavern runs in the future. Though it doesn't take us too long to get the monster eradication goal for the old skellies here. They're also dropping bone swords occasionally, and those weapons can be sold to the Adventurers Guild for a fairly decent profit. So that's the monster eradication goal complete there for fighting the skellies, which is really nice. For the rest of the day, we're going to continue fighting the skellies just to get more bone fragments, and we're picking up iron ore along the way. If we come across dust sprites, we will absolutely murder those because we need to kill a total of 500 dust sprites to complete another monster eradication goal. So we're now finished with the skellies. We have all of the bone fragments we need for Gunther's quest. For the next couple of days, we are going to primarily focus on dust sprite eradication. And once we finish off these 500 dust sprite, we're going to get a ring called the burglar ring, and that increases the chance monsters will drop more loot. It's an absolutely amazing ring when it comes to getting lots of goodies from delving into the dungeons. The next day, all of our fiber seeds have fully grown, so we're going to collect all these. This is going to give us an absolute huge amount of fiber. We won't need fiber again probably for the rest of the challenge, unless we go absolutely crazy and we decide to make hundreds or thousands of tree fertilizers or something like that. We're going to go to Robin now, and we're going to upgrade our barn to a big barn, and that will be upgraded again to a deluxe barn, and we're going to get lots of pigs for the farm. So we just completed Gunther's fragments of the past there. We get some gold for completing that, but we're also going to get the bone mill recipe the next day as well. We get our steel hoe off Clint. That's going to be sent back in, and we're going to upgrade that to a gold hoe. So we're almost there with the hoe upgrades. We're going to go back to Clint again, and we're going to get him to break open all of our accumulated geodes and mystery boxes. Now we get some very handy items here from the mystery boxes: hardwood, strange buns. That strange bun is going to come in fierce handy later for Vincent. We also get a golden pumpkin, which is going to come in handy for George's birthday. And we get the elusive Book of Mysteries, which is another book of power that increases the odds of you obtaining mystery boxes. Now I personally find that book of power very difficult to come across. I have played through this game multiple times now since 1.6, and I've gotten Clint to break open tons of mystery boxes. I always find that that book of power is just very rare to pop up. So it was George's birthday. We gave him the golden pumpkin. He was very happy with that. It pushed him up to 3 hearts out of 10, which was nice. We're then going to go to the Joja Mart and we're going to purchase 100 Joja Colas. And that's going to be the blue item for Key's Prismatic Grange. For the green we had fibre, for the yellow we had sap. Now for the red we're just going to buy some cherry bombs. They are 450 gold a pop, but we have lots of money. And I didn't want to use up all of my copper ores to make cherry bombs. Now for orange I just needed a few more copper ores, so we're just going to go into the regular version of the mines here. And we're just going to farm up some copper to get that to 100. And that's going to be the Prismatic Grange quest completed. And that'll be our first batch of key gems that we can use to get some very powerful items in the key store. So once we donate all of our items here, the Joja Cola, the bug meat, the sap, the fibre, the cherry bombs and the copper, we get 35 key gems. There's a lot of useful things we can buy, but for the first item we're going to get the key to the town. This will slightly change the opening hours of a lot of the Stardew Valley vendors around the map, including Barney and Clint, so it's an absolute game changer. We can also enter anybody's house regardless the time of the day. It's going to make it a lot easier to give people gifts. We're going to purchase a void egg off Krobus. That will be turned into a void mayonnaise. We're also going to pick up some of the recipes he has here too, like the wicked statue with the crystal floor. We're then going to venture into the Skell Cavern today. Now, we're not really looking to venture down deep today. We're coming in here primarily for monster eradication goals. We need to kill 1,000 slimes. This is a great place to do that. We need to kill a lot of serpents, a lot of mummies, a lot of pepper rexes. Basically, all of the enemies in here are required if we want to get the Monster Slayer hero. Now, we can still hit 2 birds with the 1 stone. We're still going to come across lots of materials, lots of copper, iron, gold, and of course iridium, and we can sell all those and use those to make useful items. Now, the pepper rexes are very hit and miss. If we come across some prehistoric floors, that can dramatically accelerate our completion goals with the pepper rexes, but there's also a chance that we can come in for the Skell Cavern run and not come across any of those floors. They're quite the rare floor to come across. Now, you can also find pepper rexes outside prehistoric levels, but in very small quantities, and they're still quite rare. So when it comes to completing monster eradication goals in year 1, a lot of it comes down to how lucky you're going to get in finding prehistoric levels and coming across pepper rexes. Now, you only need a kill count of maybe 50 of those, so it's not huge, but the rarity alone can make it challenging. At the end of the day, it's all up to the RNG of the game. You know, there's always a luck factor involved when it comes to completing these challenges. You could, of course, reset your days and try to do the Skell Cavern over and over again, but a lot of that comes down to your patience and, you know, how much time you're willing to sacrifice to get some of these goals completed within the first year. At the end of the day, we have to remember that Stardew Valley is a never-ending game. Unless you're doing a very specific challenge, you'll beat the goals eventually, so you don't really have to reset days over and over again, unless you're playing the game the way I do, and you really want to get these goals done before year 2 comes into play. But it's up to yourself, really. Now, these big slime balls are coming in fierce handy, because when you destroy them, there's a good chance the little mini slimes will pop out, and each of those miniature slimes count towards a kill when it comes to the slime monster eradication goals. The mummies would have been way easier if I had a napalm ring, or if I had the Crusader Enchant on my weapon, but alas, we don't have any of those, so we have to destroy them and detonate them to get the kills for those. Fortunately, the mummies, just like the serpents, are fairly common, especially floors like this. There must be at least 10 or 12 mummies on it, and that's over a tenth of the way there for the monster eradication goal for mummies. So if you came down here and if you primarily focus on mummies, you could very well almost complete that goal in just 1 day, especially if you had a monster musk. And the monster musk is something that we're really hoping for, and I really hope we get that sooner rather than later. Let's take a look at the spoils from our last Skell Cavern run. We picked up 7 diamonds, which was amazing, and we got over 250 iridium ores. We also get the bone mill off Gunther, which was great, and the gold hoe off Clint. Now we're going to hand the gold hoe back into Clint and give that its final upgrade, which will be the iridium hoe. We're also going to go to Robin, and we are going to get another upgrade here. We're going to go with Deluxe Barn. Once that gets unlocked, we can then start getting pigs for the farm. We're going to give the henchman here some vine mayonnaise. We got that from converting the vine egg from Krobus into a mayonnaise using one of our mayonnaise machines. We picked up the Wizard's Ink here, and this will just unlock the Wizard's Terminal, meaning we can make a lot of the endgame items later on once we have the money to do so. So we're going to take a break from the Skull Cavern. We're going to take a break from the regular mines today. We're going to go into the Volcano. And I just want to show you how useful this ice rod is when it comes to fighting these magma sprites and magma sparkers. Once it freezes them in place, they're just so easy to kill because they're not getting knocked back when you hit them with your weapon. We're also going to go to the dwarf. We're going to pick up the diamond hunter. We finally have the 10 diamonds needed to get that book of power. And this book of power is absolutely amazing. It will give us a chance every time we use our pickaxe on a node to get a diamond. And it activates more often than not. We also picked up the dragon scale boots. These give a +7 defense. Some people prefer the mermaid boots because of the immunity. I personally prefer defense over immunity. There's lots of items you can get in the future that will give you bonuses towards immunity. There's even a trinket that makes you immune to all debuffs. The dragon scale boots all the way. We also picked up another pair of mermaid boots, so we were spoiled for choice when it comes to boots. Now I will keep one pair of mermaid boots in a chest. I won't sell it, so I can always alternate between the mermaid boots and the dragon scale boots if I so wish. The ice rod is coming in so handy. I didn't even know it could freeze these traps. And this just makes the Volcano dungeon so much easier. Not only does it freeze all of the enemies, but it also freezes the traps, making the final couple of rooms so much easier to get through. There's nothing worse than running through those traps and they just nip you for a few HPs here and there. And that HP loss can be the difference between life and death when it comes to this dungeon. We also picked up a Dragon Tooth club. It's a very nice club, but for now we're going to keep our Galaxy Sword on us. We're going to combine our Savage Ring with our Lucky Ring. The Savage Ring is amazing. The faster our character, the more we can get done in a day. We're also going to put another Ruby into our Galaxy Sword, increasing its base attack power. So we got another skin up in Mastery. I decided to take the Mining Mastery because we're just going into the caves and dungeons so much. The Mining Mastery is really going to accelerate our progress. You get some very powerful mining perks, including the Heavy Furnace, the Statue of the Dwarf King, and Gem-bearing Rocks. There's a chance that it'll give you double the minerals back. So we are now on the hunt for Dust Sprites, and we're very close now to getting the kill count up to 500. And today might be the day that we do it. The ice rod makes it a lot easier too because you're freezing them in place and we're not skittering around the place. Once the kill count has been complete for these dust sprites, we're going to get a very powerful ring called the Burglar Ring. And that ring can be combined with a lot of other rings, making adventuring extremely profitable. So that is basically it. We finally got the kill count for the dust sprites. All that's left now is just most of the enemies in the Skull Caverns, and we can get that done in the next 1 or 2 Skull Cavern runs, and of course the slimes. But because slimes are very common, we're getting the kill count up with that very quickly. Over the past few days of our dungeoneering exploits, we have come across a lot of trinkets that we're never going to use, weapons and boots. We're going to sell all those to Marlin for lots of money. We're also going to get some very powerful items here off guild for monster eradication goes, including the Burglar Ring, very nice indeed. Let's take a look at the list here. Just 90 more slimes to kill. All of the other enemies inside the regular mines have been complete. We just need a few more mummies, a lot more pepper rexes, a lot more serpents, and maybe 1 or 2 more runs into the volcano to get the magma sprites done as well. So we should be able to get all that done before we get into year 2. We're also going to visit Pierre here during the Halloween event. We're going to get the jack-o'-lantern recipe and the rare crow. We need those for 100%. We're also going to go through the maze. We're going to pick up the golden pumpkin. It is a universal loved gift, so why not? We're then going to go back to our home and we're going to collect all of these lovely starfruit wines. That means big money is going to come our way. Let's see how much we're going to make. As we can see, because of the starfruit wine, we're making well over 100,000 gold. Let's just take a look at the farming breakdown. We have got 30 pieces of starfruit wine coming in at 94,500 gold. Not bad at all. So we are now on to the last day of fall and we get our iridium hoe, very nice indeed. We're not finished yet though. Clint will now start upgrading our pan. That will be chain upgraded all the way to iridium. We're going to go to the Statue of Uncertainty, pay 10,000 gold, and we are going to reforge our fishing skill because I want to make lots of crab pots. We are now going to head on over to the travelling cart. She actually had a few useful items we needed, including a pomegranate. Now we need 5 of these if we want to dry them out, and they also need to be of a similar quality. So that's going to be the first of many. I also had to look at the combat quarterlies, and I decided to waste all of my money on these combat quarterlies. We started out with 11, so I started popping these books like there's no tomorrow. Each combat quarterly gives me 250 XP. And as we can see, I'm now very close to getting level 3 mastery, so I decided to spend the rest of my money on combat quarterlies. The travelling cart has an unlimited supply of skill books when they do become available. So if you have the funds and if you really want to accelerate your mastery levels, just do what I'm doing here and just mass purchase the skill book. That got us straight up to mastery level 3. We can now get another powerful mastery perk. We're going to go with Foraging. The mystic tree seeds are awesome. The treasure totems will make it easier for us to get all of the artifacts needed to complete Gunther's side quest. And of course, the golden mystery boxes are an absolute game changer. You can get some amazing things out of golden mystery boxes, including auto petters. So we're going to make a statue of the Dwarf King. That's going to give us very powerful mining perks every day. And we're going to make some heavy furnaces as well. It just means we can process a lot more ores into bars. It's a great time saver. It's also a great money saver as well. In the previous video I stated that the albacore was the last fish we needed. I totally forgot about the midnight carp. I was very lucky I remembered it. So that is actually the last fish we needed for fall. Now it's just a few fish left for winter. Level 5 fishing, we're now going to get Tapper. Reduce requirements there for the crab pots. And Lore Master, crab pots no longer require bait. That's going to come in fairest handy now in the future. And that is the end of another Let's Play. So we're now entering winter, and it's going to be very interesting to see how well we do by the end of the first year. Thanks again everyone for taking the time to watch these Let's Plays. I really appreciate you. And I hope you have a great week. I'll see you very soon for the next Stardew Valley Let's Play. In the meantime, stay cozy and subscribe and like the video if you enjoy these Let's Plays.